All right. It's been 2 weeks, and we're ready to get back into it, right?
Well, that's an awkward silence.
Mm-hmm.
Hi there, this is future
And
Marcus, actually.
unfortunately, last week and this week we were missing Nee, and well, we'll have to continue on without her. So I forgot what the fuck we are.
I had forgotten to press record for Discord, so nobody was
Yeah,
recorded.
we're still like exploring a bit. We just did like that whole guitar thing, right? What else? We also
And as such,
yeah.
I'll just be doing the voices for this part because
Everything
I
just
was
kinda-
stupid and forgot to record them. Oops. So now this will just be the Bewitched Riddle show from this for this part.
This is great. All right, we were talking to Lemiroir, and Maki left the room. Kid's blind. That's right. Virginia.
Borginia. We're deciding on
Virginia.
Borginia for this part. Good lord.
I'll try to remember it too. Okay, let's talk about the boy.
Your pianist, Maki, was it?
I think it was Machi. I think that's the way he said it.
He's cute, like a porcelain doll.
He's very European. I met him while singing in restaurants in Borginia. He is an orphan, yet his playing is exquisite. Soon he came to live with me.
It's like a fairy tale, almost.
I noticed he hardly leaves your side.
That's serious. She's too busy crafting.
Yes, well,
Now
he
it's-
is blind. At first, I hesitated dragging him across the world. He doesn't speak English either, does he? He had never left Borginia before we met. I made his presence part of my contract. But I don't remember what the hell we're talking about. Machi and I together are Le Miroir. Together. Always.
Mr. Latouche.
Mr. Latouche was my new manager. New? Yes, from 3 months ago. Around when I received Mr. Gavin's invitation to come. I met Mr. Latouche at my office. I need to get closer to the microphone. He was to be my manager and bodyguard. And, as it turned out, my interpreter. Interpreter? Even though you speak English? Yes, but we were to visit more places than just here. We had a concert in Japan scheduled after this one. Though, I fear that may have to be cancelled now.
Was Mr. Latouche from the Republic of Virginia too?
Fuck, I said Virginia. Borginia.
Well, he was only with me for 3 months. I'm afraid there is much I do not know about him. And now, I shall never know. No one will even tell me why he has died.
I'm sorry. Prosecutor Gavin said we weren't to talk to anyone.
Mr. Latouche was a talented man. The siren of the ballad. That phrase was his idea, you know. I'm happy for him that it has become so well known.
The siren. That's what he meant.
Huh? Apollo?
The fuck, man? You are the siren, right, Lemiroir?
That is the meaning of my name in Borginian, yes. It was the name my producer gave me. But why do you ask?
It's very important. I had to know for sure if the siren was you.
What do you mean, important?
I'll tell you. You deserve to know. Siren. It turns out that's a very important word in this case.
How?
When we found Mr. Latouche, he was still alive.
What?
I heard him say something. His last words. Mr. Latouche, can you hear me?
Ask.
Oh shit, that's right. I got the voice this time.
Yes.
Hang in there, Mr. Latouche. Tell me, who is the witness?
Witness is siren.
Shit, that's right.
He said siren? Really?
Oh, we gotta wait for Xander. I was the only one there to hear it. But I'm sure that's what he said.
Mr. Latouche said that. Ask the witness?
And you're the siren, Lemiroir. Did you see what happened? Lemiroir?
Might I ask, are you with the police?
Well, no. I'm a defense attorney.
An attorney? Yet there have been no arrests, yes?
Is that a problem?
Does an attorney not work for a client? If you have no client, you should leave the investigation to the police, I think. But, Lemiroir, I am sorry, but I cannot answer your questions. I'm afraid you lack the authority to ask them.
Why? If she witnessed the crime, why won't she tell us?
I believe we are through here.
I believe so. Oh boy.
Well, shit.
Oh boy, the look around the room. Here we go. Well, first we leave, right? Then we go back. Oh, that's right. We take. Would you mind taking a look at this Lemiroir?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure what to say. I wish I could help you.
Don't worry about it. Certainly one of the most pleasant refusals I've had.
Anything else?
I don't know, man. We could go with anything. Past me. We should probably go with the attorney's badge. That reminds me. Does this brooch look familiar to you?
My brooch? Yes, well, it may be mine.
Yours, Lemiroir?
I was wearing a brooch earlier, you see. I must have lost it. Well, that explains the brooch we found. It was Lemirwar's. Thank you.
No, I'm gonna hold on to it.
I was wondering where I dropped it.
This brooch belongs to her. That begs the question.
Is something wrong, Apollo?
What was this brooch doing at the crime scene? Present the attorney's badge. Do it past me. You know you want to.
Nope.
Nope, nothing. I've already told you all this before. That's what Eris said.
Anything new?
Here we go. Spoilers. We're going to, like, walk around and not find anything. We have to come back here and look at the postcard. This is the fun part of, like, every Ace Attorney game where we just get lost and, like, wonder where the fuck do we go? Ooh, a dead body. Take a picture.
Ain't nothing here neither.
Wow, that piano looks much bigger up close.
Xander?
Oh my god.
Machi plays so beautifully.
However you wish to say it.
Maki? Machi? Yeah, like a real pianist.
That's just silly, Apollo. How can you call someone as good as Machi a pianist? Pianist. Why, that's like throwing him in the same class as Daddy.
Good thing Mr. Wright didn't hear that one.
Ah, my back.
Ah, my back. It cracked. Now that's a big instrument case.
That's a case for a contrabass, I think. Contrabass? Contrabass, I think.
You could fit 20 violins in there, I bet. Oh god, what are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about what a contrabass is. Like, Siri had like this...
An enemy stand, I bet.
And then Stray was saying, or my bad, Oris was saying how it's all like, you need a stand for it.
It may look like a violin, but it's a completely different instrument.
You could fit 5 Trucies in there, I bet.
Hey, are you comparing me to an instrument?
Instrument of destruction.
I wonder who left it sitting open like that. What a big stage. It's on a whole other scale than the Wonder Bar.
The lights were so bright I couldn't see the whole first part of the concert.
That's right. Hey, Wild.
Oh,
He
that's
immediately
right.
mutes, but he
Oh,
plays
fuck,
the
he jumped
Kamehameha
in.
for us.
Oh my god, that's right. He jumped in and his Kamehameha went off. That shit was funny.
Yeah, whose fault is that?
I'd love to do my act on a stage like this someday.
Just hold back on the lights for my eyes' sake, please.
You'll be too blinded by my magic to worry about lights.
Oh god. You probably don't want to blind the audience if you plan on showing them magic.
Anything else? You're not Tracy, it's Zender.
Look at all these electronic devices. I'm guessing they have something to do with sound.
Why, guess when we can fiddle. Let's see here.
Don't touch that.
A healthy curiosity is the key to a good investigation. When in doubt, fiddle. That's what Daddy always says.
They should require parental testing, clearly.
Okay, was there anything else? The ladder?
Look, a ladder. I guess they need one to work on the lights and such.
Why don't they use a step ladder? I prefer step ladders, really. Is that so wrong?
Not wrong, just... Well, why do you prefer step ladders?
They're so much more flexible than plain old ladders.
Prefer my ladders rigid and stable, thank you. Good conversations? Yeah, that should be it.
I think that's it here. It'd have to be here. There's something else to look at here? Everything is lit back up. Yeah. No, this is the other dressing room. Yeah. Alright, well, I guess we gotta start somewhere.
Look, it's a postcard of Le Miroir.
What are these letters at the bottom? I've never seen these before.
It must be your native tongue. Burgundian. A landscape painter and sound. This is how it would translate, roughly. Please, take one.
Landscape painter and sound. That's a nice image.
Postcard
Add to the court record.
Yes, but she wasn't in the room before. Yeah. Because this is the Gaviner's room.
Gavineers.
Duh.
Nice, dude.
Anything else?
Those are some pretty heavy-duty gloves. Maybe they have to carry around hot pots or something.
They are a little thick. I couldn't even stuff a pigeon in those. Oh, fuck, I gotta do the judge. That's right.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
No. Click.
A police uniform hangs in the stand here.
Ooh, I want to try it on. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Oh god, that's right. Instead of doing that, he did a deeper voice. It's okay. You don't have to go that far to be special. I mean, you're not exactly the type who's just another face in the crowd.
Really? You think so? I guess you're right.
I felt like a meanie for making that insinuation.
Something like that.
Ooh, a cruiser guitar. They sold those to commemorate 5 years of the band.
Rocking it hard. Under the speed limit.
There's a cruiser bass, and a cruiser drum set, and a cruiser keyboard. Even a cruiser whistle.
Not so sure about that last one.
It's for blowing the whistle on criminals.
I don't think that requires an actual whistle. Intrusi. Bleh.
Do we want to check the beef stew again? This thing is fake.
Why is that plastic bowl of stew sitting there?
Maybe they use it for interrogating bad guys.
Fess up to what you did, and we'll let you eat that stew.
Something like that. He did like a deeper voice. That's just me.
It gets worse. See, if the bad guy confesses, they say,
Okay, eat it, if you can. See, it's made of plastic.
it's like, you don't know which ones are the real bad guys.
I think you need to take a deep breath, Trucy.
That guitar? That's the legendary AAA 400, the Red Badger.
I thought rock was supposed to be rebellious, not civic.
Every aspiring guitarist wants one of these. They even paint their own guitars to look like it.
Ah, the fickleness of youth.
You should dye your hair badger red, too.
I like my hair the way it is, thank you very much.
Ah, the stubbornness of age.
That's actually a pretty funny joke. I think that one was lost on us.
The speaker would be the last thing.
Or at least it was lost on me. That speaker looks familiar.
Oh?
Yeah, like the one for the PA system back in school.
Oh, we have one of those in my classroom, too.
That's right. She's still in junior high. I feel old. The forehead wrinkles just a little bit more. Someone drew the Gaviner's mark in lipstick here.
Lipstick. I'd like to wear lipstick someday.
Oh? You don't use lipstick yet, Trucy?
Daddy won't let me. Not until I learn to play piano, he says.
You'll be waiting a long time then, I'm afraid.
Well,
Still wondering
now
what
we
to do
have the
next.
postcard. The gun!
The gun.
The postcard! Damn
I'm
it.
not gonna lie. At this point in time, I still didn't know like what exactly we were supposed to do. We already presented the brooch and we already presented the postcard.
Turns out it belongs.
I was thinking maybe the lyric sheet and that was about it, but no, you honestly only needed the postcard to be added to the court record, and then you would come back out
Oh,
here
there we
and
go.
look.
July 8th, 12:22 a.m. backstage hallway.
Whoa, who's there now?
It's you. Where were you?
Emma. Is something wrong? She looks grumpier than usual.
You bet something's wrong. The impossible's happened. It's all your fault, you know.
Oops. Maybe this is about us leaving the crime scene.
What do you mean by impossible? Well, it's gone. Utterly gone. What's gone? The body, stupid. What else? Mr. Latusse's body has disappeared.
Well, yeah, but remember, we were left in charge of the crime scene, and then she left to go... Right out of
What?
no, right out of Magic Panties.
That's right. Oris was saying it's all like, oh man.
You know. July 8th, Lemire Ward's dressing room.
Ah, Prosecutor Gavin. Oris was like saying it's all like, oh yeah. Where'd
From
you
your
do with the
vacant
body,
stare, I
Tracy?
gather you've heard the news.
I heard Mr. Latuse's body has gone missing.
Look for yourself. And it's certainly missing. Quite the pickle. Quite the pickle.
How can you just stand there? We have to start the
There's no need for alarm, Fraulein Detective. All exits have been sealed. The body will not leave the building. So I suggest we go find ourselves a cadaver. There will be plenty of time to wonder the whys later.
Well, you seem pretty sure of yourself, Mr. Gavin.
Oh, we'll find him. I'm rather enjoying this.
How could Mr. Latuse's body just disappear?
Toulouse.
Well, you heard the man.
Oh god, that's right. She says Toulouse instead of Latuse.
Let's get searching.
And we wait for Stray. Or Oris, damn it.
Oh,
Hey,
man, that one
I
time
don't know
when
if
you
this is
Stray.
exactly the right time, but...
I think he did something close.
Honestly, this is who I envisioned Oris as. Like, this is just his spirit animal.
Yes, Darian?
See, Geeter's gone missing. It was in the dressing room.
Geeter? Who's Geeter?
That's what I call my guitar. You like, man?
Your guitar was stolen?
This hasn't been a good day for guitars or Geeters.
Okay, body first, then guitar. And if someone finds that guitar, please bring it to our dressing room.
Geeter's like a missing person, not lost and found, man.
Manned.
Well, this is, what did he call it? A sausage? No, wait. It was a pickle. And it's your pickle. I told you to stay in the room.
Sorry. Not much else I can say.
It's alright. Top priority now is finding that body. You can make it up to me later.
Bunch of snacks.
10 bags or so of chocolate snack should do the
Literally,
trick
there we go.
nicely.
10 bags or so of chocolate Saku should do the trick nicely. Right. Everybody started giggling at that. It's all like the moment it popped up. Or when they could see it, yeah. You should watch your sugar intake, Emma.
Okay,
There
now
should be a body
catch you later.
But there's not. Who are we saying goodnight to? I think it was Nox. There should be a body here, but there's not.
If not, I have recorded it, and I can always give you a recording.
Haha,
Oh, I figured it all put
Lamau.
together. Yeah.
How could this have happened? And why?
I guess.
Emma, could you take a look at...
Just hold it right there. This is no time to be waving a bag of Snakoos in my face.
It's not a bag of...
Look, what's important is that Mr. Latuse's body is missing. And we've got to find it.
Num 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 num. She would be more convincing if she wasn't standing around eating her precious nakus.
Alright. Let's go find this body. Where should we go? July 8th, 12:57 a.m. in the wings.
Does something seem different to you, Apollo?
Something is definitely different here.
Let's check it out.
Well, I wonder what could be different. Is this? Yes, the case is always open. No, it was
That's right.
not.
People are like wondering, what's so different? The stage wasn't raised.
That stage there must have been lowered before.
That's the tower that Lemire War and Prosecutor Gavin were singing on. I guess Gavin wasn't singing. He was just playing the guitar.
Someone must have raised it. I don't see a way to control it from here. Apollo, what about that ladder there against the wall? We could use it to take a look up top.
Maybe we should get Emma.
What are you talking about? We have to see this sort of thing for ourselves.
Not so good with heights.
Stop whining and start climbing.
You didn't look that high from below. Really. But when we got to the top, felt every one of those 15 feet down. Of course, I wasn't thinking about the height anymore. Not after what we found up there.
And then I think we let Xander try that, and he goes, "Ee," and he peeks the mic. So
That did not come through at all.
yeah, okay, that's correct.
It
So
was
then he
too
just comes
high
in
for
and goes-
Discord.
So he just comes in and goes, eek.
There you go.
And ends it there. We found two things we were looking for, and one thing we never expected to find. Boom. You know what? I think it's louder if I talk from here, right? Does it matter? I don't think it matters. The body, guitar in hand, and the pianist, Maki Tobaye. I don't think it really matters. Right now, the mic's just being kind of cringe. Am I louder from this side of the mic? Or from this side? Yeah.
July 8th, 10:09 a.m. Right Anything Agency.
Wow. That concert last night sure went south in a hurry.
No kidding. Why did they arrest Maki? Why?
Don't look at me like it's my fault. Maki Tobaye, the blind pianist. Arrested on suspicion of murdering Romain Toulouse.
I can't believe such a cute little boy could do something so horrible.
I guess they had proof of some kind.
What proof could possibly prove that?
Morning.
Prosecutor Gavin?
What a night, huh? Apologize for being so upset.
Mr. Gavin, do you know what's going on? Why did they arrest Maki? Why?
Don't look at him like it's his fault either.
It was tough for me, too. We performed together that night after all. Yet,
Yet?
the powers that be say that, given the circumstances, it could only have been him.
What do you mean by the circumstances?
Lemire was invited from Borginia as an ambassador of goodwill. It is vital that this case be wrapped up swiftly. That's all the powers that be want, really.
Well, those are circumstances, all right. But what makes Maki the only possible suspect?
There, forehead. You seem to have forgotten that you're talking to the prosecution? The enemy?
Ah, right. I think I like this side of Prosecutor Gavin better, actually.
I'm not at liberty to discuss the particulars of the case. Especially not to the defense attorney.
What? Did you just say? Me? The defense attorney?
That's what I came to tell you. He's down at the detention center. He wants to request your services.
You mean Maki? Maki wants me?
This is what we've been waiting for, Apollo. Let's get going.
Right.
Good luck. I'm off to question Lemiroir.
Right. Later. I hope I'm up to this.
July 8th, detention center, visitor's room.
Well, I just don't get it. I refuse to believe a cute little kid like that could do something so horrible.
Technically, she said terrible, but, you know, whatever. You said that already. Oh, that's right, Oris said that he was gonna voice
Actual lines?
Maki, everything's going to be okay. We're here for you.
Hi. Maybe you can tell me about last night. And then Oris wasn't expecting this.
All right, well, fuck, go ahead.
He's all like, ah, shit!
I said Eris. That's gonna voice Maki, but
Oh, God.
it's fine. See play. That's how it ends.
Huh?
Up, hold.
Just because I know sometimes you just get bored to tears and got nothing else to do. When you get a chance, you want to try to change the light bulbs over my.
Oh, that's right. It still records from this, from my side. Okay.
I would do it.
Say something in French. I don't know anything in French. Merci beaucoup.
Okay.
And it's not like it needs to be done tonight or but when you get a chance.
That was when I realized how tough it must be.
Yeah.
A little kid like this. In a country so far from everything he's ever known.
Maybe Lemiroir can help.
But didn't Prosecutor Gavin say she was with him?
Good luck. I'm off to question Lemiroir.
Well, what are we going to do?
That's a good question. Can't think of anything we can do but go with this. And hope for the best at the trial tomorrow.
To be continued.
Xander's all like, oh yeah, just start speaking Simlish. Singlish.
Yeah, how are we feeling so far?
What the fuck does the Sim speak? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Alright, I don't remember how far we have left to go through. Oh, we got quite a bit. We have quite a bit to go. That was the end of, like, you know, the first investigation. I generally felt that everybody did not know what the fuck was.
He just says hair gel last time.
What? I think we're just talking about his hair now. The hell? I don't really know where our conversation goes.
Yeah, but Phoenix is natural.
I give him the cursed lore. The Phoenix right hair is natural.
Well,
Well, Apollo
move
Justice's
him
hair
over
is...
to general, then move him back. So just a fucking button. Okay. Then we shall continue. Continue on to the next
right.
chapter.
That was one of the things we wanted to do, right? Let's figure out how the fuck we...
July 9th, 10 a.m. District
Silence
Court,
the,
Court number
soundboard stuff.
3. What do you think it is?
Court is now in
Boris?
session for... How the fuck do I say that?
Maki Tobaye, Your Honor. The Pixie of the Arpeggio.
Right. His trial. Court is in session.
I'm gonna use my own jet voice for this shit, but I don't understand that shit. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is A-OK, Herr Judge.
Very well, Prosecutor Gavin.
Ah, my opening statement, ja?
No, actually, there was something else I wanted to ask you about.
Yes?
Say you're going to visit someone in the hospital with an incurable disease. What do you say to them?
Huh?
I mean, you wouldn't say, get well soon, right? You'd only be kicking them while they're down.
What are you talking about?
Actually, I'm going to visit someone who is terminally ill. Right after this trial. The Chief Justice's son.
Chief Justice?
His son is afflicted with the most terrible disease.
Oh god, here it comes. I fucking knew it. This is perfect.
Oh, that's right.
Which disease is that?
Terrible disease. Which disease is that, I ask?
Ligma! He doesn't have long, it seems.
Go ahead, Siri, ask. Okay. Yeah, enough of that. Let's keep going.
So I thought I'd go pay him a visit. I thought saying something moving might be the order of the day.
Why don't grown-ups ever just say what's on their mind instead of pretending?
She's looking at me with something like disgust.
Hey, what are you looking at me like that for? In any case, I'm a bit busy today, so let's wrap this up quickly. Prosecutor Gavin, your opening statement, briefly.
You're in luck, Head Judge. I believe you'll be going on your hospital visit sooner than you think. First, to review the victim in this case. Romain Latousse, age 35. A global manager for Diva Songstress Le Miroir. Cause of death, blood loss due to being shot by a large caliber revolver. This report has all the details.
The court accepts this into evidence.
Latousse's autopsy report added to the court record. Death due to loss of blood. Estimated time of death 9/9/30.
45 caliber.
Sure.
That's quite large, isn't it?
Alright, that's gonna be my favorite ringtone then. Time elapsed between shooting and death currently under review. Okay, so they don't know how long it took for him to die. So it could have happened anytime during that 30-minute period.
A direct hit from that could knock a man off his feet.
However, the bullet struck him in his shoulder. The damage to the body was slight. Death was not immediate. Sadly, his blood loss was such that he could not be saved.
Suppose the victim's condition could have been much worse, considering.
Crime photo added to the court record. 2 shots were fired. 1 shot missed. The other penetrated and passed through the victim's shoulder. Both bullets were found in the wall at the scene. Observe the diagram.
Observe the viewing globe.
This is where the bullets hit.
I see. The court accepts this evidence.
Diagram added to the court record. Jesus Christ.
If we're talking about a .45 caliber revolver, we must assume that the killer was adept at the weapon's use.
Really?
Yeah, apparently, weapons that size have a powerful kickback. If, say, the judge tried to fire one, it'd break every bone in his body. The defense will take more care in choosing examples.
As I was saying, the victim was shot backstage in a dressing room. This dressing room has only one entrance, this door.
That does seem to be the case, yes.
Okay, so I can't change.
However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots.
He's talking about you and Emma, huh?
Yet when the witnesses entered the room, it was empty, save for the victim's body, of course.
But that's impossible!
Exactly. This murder was impossible. For all but one person.
One person?
That is, of course, the defendant, Maki Tobaye.
Only this defendant could have committed the crime! But how?
It's quite simple. The circumstances of the crime scene make it clear.
Very well. I assume you have testimony to back up this claim. Please, show the witness to the stand.
Oh, hi. Your name and profession, please.
Emma Sky. I'm a detective for the police department. I was on security detail at the concert forum that night.
Emma seems tired somehow. Security at the concert, you say?
Some security I was. Couldn't even stop a murder.
Now, don't blame yourself. Things like this happen. I've made even bigger mistakes in my career, you know?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sure that makes her feel much better.
I want to hear about these bigger mistakes.
In any case, because you were on security detail, the crime was quickly discovered. And we were able to identify the killer. You may give the court your testimony, if you would. Describe the circumstances of that day and your discovery of the crime, please.
All right.
Witness testimony. Murder circumstances.
The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Bleh. Only people involved with the concert in some way were allowed backstage. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I went into the room, filled with blaring rock music, and found the body. I examined the scene and determined only the defendant could have done it.
It was lucky that a detective was the first on the scene.
And a defense attorney, too.
But that door was the only way out of the room, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Then I don't get it. How can they say that Maki did it?
Looks like we need a bit more information. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination.
Oh, that's right. They also need to have the right to action.
Cross-examination.
I think I skipped Eris saying the first line. The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Yeah, I don't think I gave her enough time to say that.
The night of the murder was the night of the concert, yes?
That's right.
What was the detective doing on security detail, might I ask? If it was only a concert.
My thoughts exactly.
But orders are orders, even when they come from rock gods.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Yes, allow me to explain. I smelled something that day, you might say, the stench of conspiracy. That day at the concert hall.
Conspiracy?
Well, isn't it obvious? My keys! That whole morning! No, the whole day was ruined! It's all because someone stole my keys! Couldn't ride my hog to the show, couldn't open my guitar case.
There he goes again.
Isn't it possible he simply misplaced them?
Misplaced them? Misplaced items don't just wander to a murder victim's hand on their own.
What's this? Prosecutor Gavin! If your keys were in the victim's hand...
Ours?
That makes you a prime suspect!
Love, slow acting and new. AJAA 9 is waiting for you.
He's singing something.
Does everything with this guy have to be so over the top?
The killing happened in the middle of my concert. I was, like a sailor, adrift on a sea of sound. Anyway, I don't want anything else stolen. Welcome back, Knox. So I put the detective with the most time on their hands on the task.
I see. I can accept that.
Well, I can't. What do you mean, time on their hands?
Please, the testimony.
Only people involved with the
shit, I
concert in
broke
some
it.
way were
Oops.
allowed backstage.
That was really weird. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, it's still broken. Oh, shit. Okay, how does it sound to you guys? Should be coming back here.
That's right. I had accidentally, because Nox jumped into the party and accidentally opened up Google Chrome because I went to
Because I
go
no fucking broke
click
it
on
by
what to
accidentally
type in the
opening
chat
Google
and
Chrome.
accidentally hit the help button and it opened up Chrome.
Because it's been, I turn off everything else so that nothing else should use bandwidth on this computer. Does it sound like it's evening out now? Okay. Alright, we'll just hold this one. How'd that sound?
We were let in, though.
I didn't know about that. I certainly didn't invite you.
Mm-mm. It did. What the fuck? Oh, now it's back. Yeah, that's that's what I was thinking too. So like, okay, well, hold on, wait. Yeah, we can take a break here.
Oh, okay. And this is where we
And-
take a break.
Let's go. It's okay. Just a second. It takes a while for me.
Is it okay? I guess it will be. All right. Well, here we go.
Yeah, we're going now.
Are we recording? That's right. Well,
Either way, fuck. Yeah, eventually I'll get there, man. I'm just slower than rest. Okay. I give the Fraulein special permission to be there. I wanted to see her again.
Oh boy, did you hear that? We're officially involved now.
gee, great.
Some other hangers-on tried to get backstage, but I drove them off.
So no other outsiders were there then.
And then, at the beginning of the third set, I heard shots.
I believe we were having a chat when we heard the shots.
You were the one chatting. I was eating snackoos.
Ah, hey! No snacking in the court!
Oh wait, I think I have some snacks in here for this next bit coming up. Yeah, so we waited for.
Or the judge just had a heart attack.
Oris is trying his best.
And you're sure the shots came from the Miroir's room?
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, I'm the one being cross-examined here. Here, this'll keep you quiet.
Ah, thanks. So, how about it, Emma?
Are you alright? There. I heard me mistaken about that.
Please, either talk or eat. Not both at the same time. I just dropped one of these fucking snacks on the floor. Good shit.
Alright. So after that, me and Mr. Lawyer there opened the dressing room door.
Alright, I can put the snacks away now.
I went into the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body.
Rock.
Blaring. Yes.
When you say rock, are you referring perhaps to Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
Thank you, Pass Me. I thought it was very funny too.
To this rock and roll music that's so popular these days?
Why the fuck was that louder? That's right. When we went into the dressing room, music was blaring over the speaker on the wall.
They pipe sound from the stage into the backstage through speakers. That way, people in the back can hear when they're supposed to be on stage.
Did it have to be so loud?
You don't listen to the Governors with your ears. You feel it with your entire body and soul. I always have the backstage monitors at full volume.
We walked in the room. The band was playing Guilty Love, I believe. Making it easy to determine the time of the crime.
You can hear that music playing.
Then everyone on stage for that song has an alibi. including myself.
Anyway, I closed out the scene and then started my investigation. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it.
How could you know something like that?
As I said, it was clear from the circumstances. Listen. We know there was only one exit from the room. That door. The small window only opened a tiny crack. And I was standing in front of that door. So, how could the killer have fled the scene? There's only one possibility. The air vent.
Ah! But that air vent was too small. Who could possibly...
Exactly. There's certainly no way you could get through, nor me. The only one who could fit through was a child.
A child.
Remember, access to those rooms was limited. Only those involved with the concert were allowed.
And of all the people involved with the concert, only one is small enough to be considered a child.
The defendant?
The pixie of the arpeggio flitted up toward the sky and disappeared from the scene of the crime.
But that's just conjecture.
Oh, there was no other way out of that room. You were there. You should know, Herr Forehead.
And there's another vital piece of evidence.
Evidence? What?
Marks were found on the air vent grill. Traces that it had recently been opened.
Wait, what?
And something else was found, quite clearly. The defendant, Maki Tobaye's fingerprints.
What?
Fingerprints.
Order! Order! Order!
Not really. No, you're fine. Yeah, like that. You know, peeking the mic that way.
That air... Oh, shit. That's right.
That air vent was the only way out of the room. The defendant's fingerprints were found on the grill. Well, Herr Forehead, what fairy tale does this suggest to you? Only one could pass through that vent, that doorway to heaven. And that one is our pixie.
Why are you looking at me, Apollo? Hey, I was out whooping it up in the audience.
So this was his decisive evidence. Quite decisive indeed. I believe there's enough of that. The prosecution has a rather convincing case. The only way in and out of the crime scene was watched, making the defendant the only one who could possibly leave the scene. Simple and decisive. I believe we've heard enough to determine our verdict. Even if I wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit.
I'm sure the Chief Justice will appreciate the gesture. Unfortunately, we have no direct witnesses. Fortunately, the criminal left decisive evidence for us. That will have to be enough.
It can't be over already. Very well. I believe this trial is finished. If the defense has no contradicting evidence,
The prosecution has presented our proof, clear and plain. If you have contradicting evidence, it better be clear and plain.
Apollo, they've got us on the ropes already. We better come up with something quick.
I know. Think what can get us out of this? We need evidence. We're a witness. I can prove Maki is innocent beyond a doubt. Blah, 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 words. Without that... Mr. Justice? Do you have contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case? If you do, you'd better tell us about it now. This is it. So soon. If I mess this one up, it's all over. The court wants contradicting proof?
I'll have proof.
Carla witness.
Prosecutor Gavin, you claim that there were no witnesses to this crime. Are you absolutely sure?
Absolutely. I swear it on my career as a prosecutor. And on my million-seller hit song, Atraquinine, My Love.
There he goes again.
I think I'm saying it right.
That's too bad, because there was a witness. Oh, really now? But how did you come to possess knowledge the prosecution clearly does not?
Because I'm way better than him.
Because I'm the only one in the world who knows this.
That's
Questionable. What's going on? I just talked to him and now... Shut up, me. He's alive. Mr. Latouche, can you hear me?
Cold. So cold. Witness.
You're cold. Don't worry. You're going to be fine. Help us on the way.
Can't see.
Hang in there, Mr. Latouche. Tell me, who was the witness?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
The witness is Siren.
What? The victim said this before he died? Now I'm eating my snacks from before.
Perhaps he did. And perhaps he did not.
What do you mean by that?
All we know is what Hair Forehead says he said. It's no testimony, especially since it comes from the defense attorney himself.
But it's the truth! He said it! I even told you about it. But apparently you ignored me completely.
It's my policy to fully investigate everything I deem relevant. Clearly, this rookie lawyer thinks he can tell me how to do my job.
That's enough! Mr. Justice, we need clear contradictory proof from you.
Nom, 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 nom.
This witness of yours, unknown to the prosecution. That's because the prosecution fucking forgot. I hope you're right. Failure carries a stiff penalty.
Perhaps a stiffer penalty than usual is called for.
There's no turning back now. Let's hear the name of your witness, Mr. Justice.
Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright.
Yep.
Okay.
Le Miroir? Recall Mr. Latusse's last words.
The witness is Siren.
The siren. Aha! He meant the siren! That's right. The siren of the ballad, Le Miroir. Le Miroir was only on stage for the second set. She had access to the backstage area. She could have been a witness. I see. Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
My claim still stands. There was no witness to this crime.
Very well. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth then, shall we? We will now take a break from Detective Emmett Sky's cross-examination. Please show Le Miroir to the witness stand. Le Miroir would say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today, we'll drag that story out of her no matter what it is.
It is my distinct honor to welcome the Siren of the Ballad to our courtroom.
You are too kind.
Ah, you can speak English. I'm almost over this bag of snacks, too.
Yes. Yes, I
For
can.
real? For real.
Though I am not very good. There is much I do not know.
You speak so well. Have you spent time here before?
Actually, I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language. Nor where I studied it.
Huh? What does she mean she doesn't know?
I, too, thought to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course.
What's that?
Le Miroir suffers from amnesia.
Amnesia?
Oh, right. Or starts calling her lasagna partway through.
Le Miroir is not my true name. Yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on stage.
Whoa, she's even more mysterious than I thought.
As lauded singer Le Miroir, she lives a good life. There are little difficulties for her, thanks to her success. Yet, I did not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress.
I see. I care surprisingly little about people's pasts. You have nothing to fear in this court, Le Miroir.
Thank you.
Okay, what is it?
Yet, there is something I do not understand. I am being called as a witness. What might I say? No one will tell me anything of what happened.
Excuse me. Sorry, Le Miroir, let me be frank. I did not want to ask you up here to testify. Yet that young gentleman with the wide forehead over there was adamant that you stand.
Oh, my.
Congratulations, Apollo. You're the bad guy.
Well, now that you're here, please give us your testimony. If nothing else, the sound of your voice is welcome. Tell us what you saw the night of the crime.
Witness testimony. What I saw.
As for what I saw nothing. That night I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room, and told to wait there. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details.
I must say, you sound wonderful just testifying.
Especially the part where I'm chewing on fucking food.
I hope he was too distracted to hear what she was actually saying.
There you have it. She saw nothing that night. Now we can only pray that the defense is sentenced to admit defeat. And refrain from detaining her here longer than need be.
Wow, you just got better, Apollo. Way to go.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Keep it short and sweet. Lemiroir wouldn't talk to me the night of the crime. She must know something, and I've got to find out what.
Cross-examination.
As for what I saw nothing.
But you must have seen something. Mr. Latouche named you.
These nuts.
Mr. Latouche. How can I tell you what I don't know?
Lemiroir, he said you were a witness with his dying words.
I do not know what he meant to say, but that night I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did.
It was a great concert.
You heard me sing. Thank you.
I was hoping to get an autograph later, actually.
Of course.
Mr. Justice, this is a cross-examination. You're out of line. If anyone deserves an autograph here, it's me. Or one on my gavel would be nice.
Herr Judge!
What's this?
It's my autograph. Now keep this trial moving.
What? Oh, my grandchild would be so happy. Apparently his grandson is a big fan.
Let us continue, shall we? If you would, Lemiroir. Tell us what you did after your stellar performance.
I did not return backstage after the second set.
You did not return backstage once? Where were you then? What were you doing?
I was cleaning up on stage. There are many things I must do for a performance other than simply sing.
And was Maki with you at the time?
Unfortunately, I do not know where he was.
So much for an alibi for Maki.
Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there.
With Maki, correct? How was he then?
He seemed as he always does. though I believe he was shocked by the news of Mr. Latous's death. Yet, he's not the type to show much emotion.
Yes, he's given the police no end of headaches. He answers most questions with silence, and those glinting frames speak nothing. The questioning hasn't gotten very far.
We sat there, waiting. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details.
How was the incident explained to you?
I was told nothing in detail, only that Mr. Latouche died.
Of course, investigations require some security.
But Mr. Latouche was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. Both Maki and I were beside ourselves with concern.
Allow me to apologize, but please understand. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for me as it was for you.
Yes, I understand.
Think, what doesn't ring true about her testimony?
It's hard to imagine Lemiroir lying.
Xander.
Yeah, Xander was playing like Fallout that night, but I think by this point in time he stopped playing it.
She might not be lying, but she's hiding something. What wouldn't she tell me the night of the murder?
Okay. Sure.
Excuse me.
Yeah, during the we found the body at during the third set. But she's saying that she did not return backstage after the second set.
I'm sorry, Lemiroir, but I'm having trouble believing you. You remember this brooch, do you not?
Well, that's Lemiroir's.
That's Lemiroir's.
Oh, fuck.
She was wearing it for her song.
Care to add that to the testimony, Prosecutor Gavin?
What?
This brooch was found after the murder took place. At the very scene of the crime.
What?
Lemiroir. How did your brooch get backstage if you did not go there yourself? And, as Prosecutor Gavin has just told us, you had been wearing it during your performance that night. What is the meaning of this? Lemiroir, please explain. Lemiroir?
She says English is quite difficult.
That trick's not going to work here.
Your forehead may be large, but you are a lawyer, truly. But you have missed one important fact.
What now?
In fact, at the time of the incident, I went backstage, but only for a moment.
What?
Think back to the moment of the crime. You know whereof I speak.
Is she really saying all that?
What's she talking about, Apollo?
Right when the incident occurred. Ah! Is she talking about that?
Watch this room for me. I have to call for backup.
Right. Understood. You want me to make sure no one comes in, right? Mr. Latouche, can you hear me?
Cold. So cold. Witness.
You're cold? Don't worry. You're gonna be fine. Help is on the way.
The witness is Siren.
Siren? How could a siren witness anything? Jipes! Emma? What was that? Who's there?
What's wrong?
Emma, did you see anyone just now?
Huh? No.
Could have sworn I heard a door close.
I looked into the room. Just a glance, mind you.
So this is when you were. This is when your brooch dropped. That explains that.
It does. There was no other time I could have dropped it.
But that's ridiculous. You only looked in for an instant, but you dropped your brooch?
Her forehead. She has raised a possibility. The only thing that can counter that is evidence.
So she looked in at the crime scene.
Actually, I intended to go into the dressing room. I knew nothing of what had happened, of course. But the moment I opened the door, I heard a horrible voice.
Her forehead shouting, "Who's there?" No doubt. A horrible voice indeed.
I closed the door immediately.
Well, that explains the brooch. Oops. Let's return to your testimony. That's too convenient. She's hiding something. Le Miroir, you did look into the room though, right?
Yes.
Testify as to what you saw.
Very well. There was only the briefest of glimpses. When my performance was finished, I went backstage for just a moment. Hey, look what turned on.
Yep, immediately.
Let's take a look.
Oh yeah, then Siri suggests here that I go look at her hands. I can't go any lower.
I can't
than
go
this.
as low as her hands.
And Xander suggests he doesn't see anything here, so let's move on. I saw nothing. The late Mr. Latouche's body was behind a wall. I think Siri suggests we check this one. You just check each one until you can find it.
Something was different there.
There you go. Bullshit. I mean, gotcha.
Oh, Xander was so cute with that.
The late Mr. Latouche's body, you say?
Yes?
You know something more about Mr. Latouche's death than you were saying.
What?
I could see you trying not to remember.
Oh, there goes Nox.
But the effort made you swallow. You can't fool my eyes.
Now in the middle of testimony.
It is true. It was so terrible after all. Why did Mr. Latouche have to be shot?
One moment, Le Miroir.
Yes?
What was that you just said? Why did Mr. Latouche have to be shot?
Yes?
She was hiding something. I knew it! Le Miroir, I'm afraid you haven't realized it, but... your words just now contradict your testimony!
How could that be?
Take this! Le Miroir contradicted her own testimony, and I have the evidence to prove it.
Oh no, do we?
Oh yeah, I remember this. We're all just trying to figure out, like, what do you mean? What is the evidence that, you know, she contradicted herself? That's the biggest pain when it comes to this game, and thus we go back and forth. We're talking
Of the room, the diagram.
Siri wanted to look at the diagram of the room, and she makes a really good point of all, like, how could she see
So
the
remember,
body?
she
'cause
looked
there's
into
the partition.
She
in the
looked
way.
into the room for the briefest of instants, right?
Like, could you really tell that he was shot at that point in time by just, like, looking into the room here?
From the position of this diagram, she can't see the body at all. Yeah. You're on the right point. Yeah, no, you're correct. Where it's all like, how did she know that he was shot? Yeah.
Because nobody told her.
No, that's what she's saying now. She originally said that she knew nothing, right? You had just said that. They told her nothing about what happened, and suddenly now she's saying that he shot.
Yeah, this
How
is
does
a
the
wonderful
door
back and
open?
forth, I'm not gonna lie.
So where could she see from that point of view? So how does she know that he was shot?
Yeah, and then back out of here because we wanted to see other evidence.
Me too.
And that's where we came upon the investigation request. It just says, like, you know, no one's supposed to, like, say anything, right? Gag order.
She didn't have to sign. She didn't have to sign one of these. It was just you, Trucy. Mm-hmm. Of course, this is the attorney's badge. That's how it contradicts. Okay.
If I do not misunderstand the meaning of contradiction, it is you who contradict, Mr. Justice.
Huh?
Your evidence is meaningless.
Wrong evidence. Gotta think this over. What did she say again? Why did Mr. Latouche have to be shot? That's right. That totally contradicts her testimony. Take this.
Yeah. So we try
All
this one
right.
next.
Tell me, Le Miroir. How did you know he had been shot?
Well, I
Immediately following the incident, a gag order was placed on the scene. This is the document proving that. In your testimony, you told the court. No one told me anything about the incident. Furthermore, you just testified that you had seen nothing. Yet you knew that Mr. Latouche had been shot. How could you have known?
York! Once more, we peek the mic casually.
Le miroir.
Horse? Lasagna. That's right.
You are hiding something from this court, I hope. A sweet song of hers was sounding a little too sweet.
Now I remember. Please, allow me to add to my testimony.
Of course. All we want to know is the truth.
She looks kind of pale, huh?
She saw something. I know it. Even the victim said so.
Alright, now they said that we have to flash back to him.
I saw bullet holes in the wall and knew Mr. Latouche had been shot.
And this is where we talked about it earlier, where it's all like, if she had like peeked in, the door's in the way, she shouldn't have been able to see the bullet holes. Well,
Now you think it's a dagger? Okay.
Only a glimpse, yet you knew they were bullet holes?
Yes, I recognized them immediately. I have seen bullet holes before, you know.
You had traveled the world as a singer. You must have sung in places far more dangerous than our country.
I go wherever my voice is needed. Those places are many these days. That's really cool. I hope I get to travel like Le Miroir someday.
I plan on recording my next album overseas. Their studios have a different sound, you know.
Maybe I should go on a Chords of Steel tour too.
Nothing from the judge.
alright. Yeah, here we go. Now is what you're talking about.
Okay. Alright, let's find out.
Le Miroir, they call you the siren of the ballad, but lies are hardly becoming of such a creature. A put down worthy of a prosecutor, Mr. Justice.
Such put-downs are hardly becoming of you, Apollo.
Stop polishing your forehead and start polishing your character, huh?
Come on, can I be cool for once? Observe the diagram. Observe the viewing globe. Le Miroir, you looked in from the door for just a moment, correct?
Yes, that is so.
There were bullet holes in the room, yes. But they were in the wall. The door is on. You see? Assuming you merely glanced into the room, you couldn't have seen those bullet holes. York! Le Miroir.
I'm starting to feel tired now. Shit, I need to get this done.
Yes.
I'm afraid the defense has raised a good point. It appears you have been holding back something.
I must tell you. I must tell you what it is that I saw.
Yes. The happenings in this trial are being recorded. And I'm certain it will be on the news in Burguinia. You understand your reputation is at stake. It falls to you to avoid tarnishing it.
Personally speaking, I still believe that cross-examining her will yield us absolutely nothing.
But she knew how Mr. Latouche died. And he named her as a witness. You must have seen something, Le Miroir. Very well. Le Miroir, please continue your testimony.
Very well, I shall.
Witness testimony. What I saw. 2.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But it wasn't Maki. It was a grown person. I know it was.
So you did witness the crime. And the killer was a grown person, you say?
This is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play, Herr Forehead.
Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your cross-examination.
Great going, Apollo. You were right about Le Miroir. What's wrong? You don't look too happy.
This whole thing smells fishy. That's what's wrong.
Cross-examination.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit.
So you were heading toward the dressing room.
Yes.
So this is a little before she opened the dressing room door and dropped her brooch. About the same time Emma and I heard those shots.
I was on my way back. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it.
What exactly is something like a little window?
Yes, well... window is the best word I know in English. I think this is how it is said. Yes?
You need not worry, Le Miroir. Your choice of words is impeccable. There is a small window in the dressing room in question. Perhaps the defense remembers this detail.
That little window. Oh, yeah. That little window on the wall.
I, saw the crime from there. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it.
You were certain you heard 2 shots fired.
Yes, quite certain. I was on my way to the backstage exit. This was when I heard a faint sound, like a gunshot. Wondering what it had been, I peered through the window. That is when I heard the second gunshot, much closer.
There were 2 bullet holes at the scene. No contradiction so far.
It all happened on the other side of that window. There was nothing I could do. But it wasn't Maki.
It wasn't Maki who shot. Are you sure?
Yes, quite certain.
Ha ha! It amuses me that you would question her testimony. It is testimony in your favor. Isn't it my job to object?
Yeah, Apollo. What were you thinking?
Trucy, let's just listen to what Lemirwar has to say. Can you tell me how you were so sure?
Yes, of course. You see, it was a grown person. I know it was.
A grown person? That's a little vague.
I am sorry. My skill with your language is lacking, I know.
Certainly you could at least see whether the shooter was male or female.
It was a man. A young man.
And you're sure of that?
Yes, his voice was quite clear.
Voice?
Close enough.
Looking at this diagram, it seems the dressing room was quite cluttered. It does seem likely that you wouldn't have had a clear view of the shooter.
As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. That voice was the voice of a man.
So you heard a voice. But wait. Couldn't that have been the victim, Mr. Latouche?
Absolutely not. Did I not just say that I do not forget a voice? If it was Mr. Latouche who spoke, I would have known.
Indeed. So you're at the window, and you heard the shooter's voice. The voice of a young man.
Apollo, this is good testimony. That proves it wasn't Maki.
Indeed. If this turns out to be true, it would cast this case in a considerably different light. What is the defense's opinion of this testimony?
Ooh. This one's pretty big. What did we pick again? I'm falling asleep too. Just re-recording all this stuff. Yeah, here we're just talking about it back and forth. Do you have any evidence to prove otherwise? Yeah, they got the Ritz cannon. How the fuck did I say that? Shit. I'm already dreaming. Hmm. Best to be thorough. Yeah, does anything contradict what Lemirwar is putting forward? I mean, obviously, if it's a grown person, how would they escape from the crime scene? They wouldn't be able to fit into the vent, and we would have found them immediately. But I do not believe we actually ever talked about that bit. But that's fine. And I think Sirio is the one that, like, you know, went in and said, it's pretty good.
Well, I'd have to say it's pretty good. Vital, even. This shows that the shooter wasn't Maki.
Surely
Surely you can't be serious, Hair Forehead.
Why not?
Le Miroir. I understand why you would want to protect Maki. Yet remember, you are the siren of the ballad, and lies do not become such a creature.
What does the prosecution mean?
Apollo, what's he talking about?
How come no one bats an eye when he says stuff like that?
I recall the state of the crime scene quite well.
The state of the room.
Yes, and when the murder took place, that window was closed. I find it hard to believe you could hear a voice through it.
What? But I'm sure.
Le Miroir. I have nothing but the highest regard for your musical sense. But my opinion of you as a witness is somewhat lesser.
But she's the only eyewitness we have.
So you say? And the victim named her, the Siren, as the witness?
That's right. That's what Mr. Latouche.
We heard your claim. We even entertained the possibility. And it brought us to this. Herr Judge.
Yes?
Oh, no. Can you hear us? The prosecution requests that the witness be excused. Please.
Hmm. I'm afraid I must honor the prosecution's request. There is indeed a question of the witness's credibility. But if Le Miroir can't testify,
Then we don't have a chance of proving Maki's innocence.
this cross-examination is over. Prosecutor Gavin.
Okay. And I think that's where a good place for us to stop for the night. Yeah? You think?
All right.
All right.
Excellent. Once again, I'm sorry for forgetting to record, but hopefully this is a good in between. I should have them record. I should record it next week, so no worries. They'll be back.
Maybe. All right. Well, thank you. Say
Say goodnight. Good night. I didn't even get a chance to like fucking finish saying what I wanted to say. They already knew exactly.
keep your mind sharp and stay safe out there.
Likewise. Keep your mind sharp and stay safe out there. See you in the next one.